What's happening, guys? My name is Jamie, this is the Norwich Reptile Shed, and in this video we're going to actually be heading outside of the shed to see what we're doing in the garden. So in this video we're heading outside. As you know, we've got 4 ducks, two kind of pairs that we rescued a few years ago and hand reared and all that kind of stuff. And 2 weeks ago I upgraded one of their runs, and this weekend is actually Easter weekend in the UK, which for some of us gives us like a 4-day weekend, like a long weekend, and the weather outside is beautiful at the moment, so I'm using that as an excuse to basically get the second run built. Obviously I've got jobs I could be doing in here at the moment, but having 4 solid days to build something in nice weather outside, I can't let that opportunity go to waste. So yeah, I'm outside doing that, and yeah, everyone in the shed's doing fine. Everyone's eating. I think we're on our second meal now. Everyone's doing good. So yeah, looking forward to cracking on with the builds and bits like that. But first, let's go outside and have a little look and see what I'm doing. So a bit of a dumping ground for tools again. But let's have a little look see outside. And here is the new run with the other run in front of it. So I will give you a proper tour of it when I've finished putting the new run up. But these are massive in comparison to what we used to have. So they're like almost 2 meters tall, 5 meters long, and 2.5 meters deep. So really good size, loads of enrichment in there and bits like that, planted and seeded and all fun things. But this is the next one. So for the last 2 days I've been sort of clearing the ground. We had a big tree there that was rotten that I've cut down, obviously not with just that saw. We've cut that tree down, concreted in a row of slabs along the back to help with no weeds, no rats and things like that coming out from the bottom of the fence line that I can't get to. And now it's just a case of kind of like grading this land and yeah, and make sure it's all sort of level in all 4 corners and along the front, so then the new run as it goes down all sits nice and level. So that is kind of my next job, and I'm going to leave the camera running when we put the duck run up, and we'll show you how quick these things go up. But we've got a couple of hours now of sort of like digging and bits like that. So yeah, I'll check back in a minute. Hello, Amy. I don't think we've actually introduced you on the channel, have we? But here is Amy. We've had her for 5 months. She's a Romanian street dog that came over to the UK a couple of years ago and has been living in a kennel and was rescued. And we took her on. So here you go. Amy! Hello! Hello! Let's see how far we got. Oh, look at that. That's looking cool. That is looking good. So yeah, tons and tons of work. Obviously we've got a massive mound of earth there where we're trying to clear it out of here. We've got a pond dug in this one. All that's left really on this is the roof, and then tidying it all up, moving their hut out of there. This is like a temporary holding sort of bit for them just there. So just move all that over, which is going to be another day now. yeah, so but I can show you, this is apart from the roof on this hut here, this is actually a completed run without the, I'm actually going to be joining these ponds together with a filter system and a sump, but yeah, let's have a little look see. Hello you. Hello Goose. This is Goose, and we've got Goose and John. So yeah, this is their little run. So yeah, a couple of things like enrichment stuff, so quite a lot of, like, you know, physical barriers to separate stuff, some sort of live planting that actually, fingers crossed, has survived for the last week. You alright, girl? Yeah, we've got a few platforms. They're not like chickens, so that will be the absolute highest they'll probably go up to. It's pointless going even higher in this thing, but yeah, we've got a few. So we've got the pond there, which this is the second or third version of the pond that I use for these guys, and this is, it's just an easily clean outable pond. It's actually a water feature basin, so it's easily clean outable. You can throw a pump in there, you can scoop it out with a spade, and you know, you're not going to do any damage. And then yeah, we've got a mini wood henge, so yeah, another thing for them to sort of perch on if they want. They can sort of jump up to that height. Some more planting around, and this is also, I know the mortar looks quite muddy, but this actually, these rocks and stuff really help with them pulling mud in. So ducks really love to pull the mud in and wash it out in their beaks in the water, and obviously I want them to have a you know, to do what they would do naturally, but it's really hard scooping like a bucket of soil out of this every week. So yeah, I've limited it slightly, and we give them bowls of water as well. So, but yeah, we've got some other sort of live plants. This thing is completely seeded, so hopefully, fingers crossed, we'll keep on top of the seeds and let that go nuts in here. It's a mixture of sort of grasses, clover, I think there's a few wildflowers and stuff thrown in here. So if it survives, it survives. It's really hard with ducks to not have a square of mud. So yeah, this is kind of like the 2 or 3 years of keeping duck 2 years. So this is a 2 years of keeping ducks experience gone into this, which is stuff like, you know, protecting the edges of the ponds, protecting the roots of your plants, and yeah, so we've planted some sort of native stuff in here. Everything in here is like a what you'd find like a British plant, which helps. Obviously we haven't got to put too much effort into trying to grow them. There is what's that, I can't remember now, but there's fruits and stuff on there that they can eat, and yeah, and then they've got the hut, which is actually an insulated hut. What we do, I haven't fitted the door to this yet, but during sort of firework night, New Year's and all that sort of stuff, we actually lock them in there because of the flashing and the firework bangs and stuff, because we are quite near Norwich sort of city centre. But yeah, what else is it on here? Obviously all paving slabs along, that runs the entire length, and that's actually cemented in as well to the gravel board of the fence, and that is like a rat proofing idea of mine, basically, to have it sitting on that, try and stop the rats. We have had rats sort of take advantage of the duck food. They do love duck food and the eggs. So yeah, this is version 2.0, and yeah, this actually has 400mm of galvanized mesh, really thin mesh that runs to the actual all the way along the edges of the exposed edges, and then is stapled, actually does like an L shape and is stapled to the length of that, so that kind of seals it in. More slabs and bits. So yeah, hopefully, fingers crossed, we don't make a sort of hotel for rats, so that'd be good. And obviously that is fox proof, even though I've never seen a fox in this area for the 3 years that we've lived here. So it is still fox proof, but mainly rat proof is the one. So yeah, we've got a cover on both of them. They're meshed as well, so they've both got covers, big gates, huts. Yeah, lucky little duckies, hopefully. Yeah, so I think that's it for today. Yeah, let's go back in the shed, back in the warm, I suppose, because it is starting to get a bit cold out here now. Okay, there's probably two questions you want to ask during this video as well. One, why did you not film the full build and make a long video to make you loads of millions of pounds on YouTube? This is why. And also, why have we got 4 ducks in our garden? Well, we started, it all started when we first moved to Norwich. My parents live about an hour down the road, and they found some ducklings down their drain pipe, down there in their drain on the road. And they were covered in like a disinfectant fluid as well that someone else down the street had washed all down there. So we took them in. They had a lot of veterinary care. We hand reared them. We had some more health scares with them, so they have just grown all the way to like almost like, you know, adulthood, with us being like there all the time. So these guys are fully used to humans, although the last treatment that we did on them kind of ruined the bond, but for a time we were actually like being able to walk them out of the house into the garden, back in again, and they would follow me and my wife as well. So it was nuts. They then grew up, turned into two males called Drakes and a female called a hen. The boys started fighting over each other, and they can fight to the death if there isn't enough ducks everywhere. So we took on another non-releasable duck from an animal sanctuary that we do some work for up here, and it turned out once we put all 4 together, the boys still fought all the time. So that's why we've got 2 runs, 2 ponds, 2 massive things for 2 pairs of ducks. So there's the duck story. Yeah. So yeah, I hope you found that one interesting, guys. Just a bit of life outside of the shed, showing you what we're getting up to. And if you didn't know anything about the outside of there, I hope that just confirms that we do have like this crazy animal-driven place. In another life, we would have owned a small holding, I suppose, but we're trying our hardest to make this like a petting zoo. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed that video, guys. Just a little bit of a tour. Normality will resume for the next video. I know I keep saying I'm going to build the 6 foot, but it is the next job on the list. So if you haven't already, please hit that like button, the subscribe button. If you're interested in YouTube membership, I now have that option as well. And if you want to support the channel even further, don't forget to head over to Patreon, where for £3 a month I can list your name at the start of each video, like all the other cool people that you saw at the beginning of this one. That'll do it for this one, guys. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll catch you in the next video.